My ex dumped me because I was not wife material and had already served my purpose. Now he's crawling back, begging like a dog for another chance. For the last 9 years, I lost myself to Nate. He was my world. Everything I did was for him. I helped him through depression, helped keep his grades up, and even worked 2 jobs so he could focus on college when his parents disowned him for nearly 3 years because they didn't agree with the major or college he chose. Bear in mind, I was also a college student. When his parents started talking to him again and began to financially support him, we moved into a new apartment. Nate said he wanted me to quit my job. I didn't, because it was his turn to take care of me. For 16 months, everything was great. He spoiled me. Then I noticed he was more interested in his new friends, and at times, he ignored me completely. Back in December, he did a 180 and love bombed me the whole month. He really went out of his way to make Christmas magical for me. I honestly believed he was going to propose. On January 2nd, he made me my favorite dinner and gave this long speech about me being his first love, how I've been there since high school. I kept thinking, any minute now he's gonna ask me to marry him. But no, he dumped me. As his speech went on, my world fell apart, and as much as he tried to sugarcoat it, he basically said, you were a good girlfriend, but that's what you'll always be to me, a girlfriend. I don't see you as my wife or the mother of my children. Blah blah. You served your purpose. Now I don't need you anymore. I need someone on my level. You're a gold digger. I'll give you 30 days to move out. I couldn't speak, and he just stared at me, waiting for a response. I think this lasted 20 minutes before he said he'd sleep in the guest room and then left. Strangely, I didn't cry or get angry. My cousin invited me to stay in her spare room for as long as I needed, and I could move in straight away. That was amazing. In the 4 days it took me to pack my stuff and move out, I didn't see or speak to Nate. I doubt he even noticed. I didn't trust myself at the time to ignore a up text, so I blocked him and everyone close to him. I even changed my number and email to make sure he couldn't reach me. I thought by now I'd be a distant memory for Nate, but shockingly, he sent flowers to my job today for my birthday, which was on Sunday. Apparently, he even went to my parents' house looking for me. My mom admitted he's been there before, dropping off stuff, asking questions about me, but they told him to fuck off. The flowers came with a card saying, Dear Cassie, happy belated birthday. I've been thinking about you nonstop for the last few months, especially with how everything ended. I need to get something off my chest that I feel will haunt me for the rest of my life if I don't tell you this to your face, but I have no way of contacting you. If it's possible, can we meet up in the near future? Nate. Update. So, we ended up meeting, and no, I didn't go to him. I told the receptionist at work that if he came looking for me again, just say I was out for the day. After he showed up once, I didn't want the drama around my job, so Nate just kept going to my usual places, the grocery store I go to every Saturday evening, the park I run at Sunday mornings, his words, until he eventually ran into me, and he did yesterday. He was waiting at the coffee shop I go to after my morning run. When I saw him, I tried to turn around and leave, but he kept calling me. I thought to myself, if everything goes pear-shaped, a coffee shop is safer than my walk home, so I sat down and asked him what he wanted. He gave an apology that wasn't an apology, you know the type with I'm sorry, but, and pity me. He blamed his mental health, his job, his parents, his friends, everyone but himself. I took someone's advice from here and said, cut the crap. I already know everything. He looked genuinely shocked and stared at me for a second. I guess he thought his coworker already told me everything, so he couldn't lie. Here's what really happened. He fell for a girl in his office. When he told me her name, I knew her immediately. I've met her a few times. He said that for the last 2 years he idolized her. To be fair, she's beautiful with an amazing personality, and he hated me because I was the one stopping them from being together. His coworker was too classy to be a side piece. When he broke up with me, he confessed to her that he was madly in love with her and ended a 9-year relationship to be with her. Well, here's where it gets funny. She doesn't even like him. Lol. She called him a piece of trash and told him if he ever spoke to her outside work, she'd report him to HR. So I asked him, what does any of this have to do with me? We're over. I clearly cut ties. There's no reason for us to speak. He said he wants to try again. Promise we'd get married before the year ends, that we belong together. I told him no, I'm nobody's second choice. He threw me away after 9 years, said cruel things to me, and now he thinks if he snaps his fingers I'll come running back. He tried to beg, fake tears, and bring up the good times in our relationship. I told him, please leave me alone. You've already wasted too much of my time. I texted my cousin to meet me at the coffee shop. He kept saying nonsense, even suggested that if I went to couples counseling for a few months, he'd leave me alone. The 20 minutes it took for my cousin to arrive felt like 20 years. In the end, I just stopped listening and stood at the counter making small talk with the baristas until my cousin arrived. She told him to fuck off and warned that if he tried to follow us, she'd call her brother.